Now, speaking at a special briefing to mark 9 years of the Modi government, the Indian External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar talked about India's foreign policy push. He categorically said India and China could not normalize relations until the borders are peaceful, adding that India had taken a clear stand on China, the Belt and Road Initiative and the situation at the northern borders. Jaishankar said India countered Chinese actions in the northern border, and with the exception of China, India's relations with all foreign nations had progressed.
When we stand up on our northern borders vis-a-vis China, when we take a clear stand on Belt and Road, those two are examples of our independence. That we are not swayed by either coercion or by inducements or by false narrative. Today, extending across 78 nations. And we have done more than 600 major projects. But most of all, the impact is actually in our own neighborhood. That if you look, we've just had the visit of Nepal's Prime Minister, again, there was a stock taking of, and frankly, satisfaction at a lot of what has been achieved.
S. Jaishankar also stressed on how India delegitimized Pakistan policy on cross-border terror. The foreign minister added that a large part of the world sees India as a development partner and an economic collaborator.
Today, extending across 78 nations, and we have done more than 600 major projects. But most of all, the impact is actually in our own neighborhood. That if you look, we've just had the visit of Nepal's Prime Minister, again, there was a stock taking of, and frankly, satisfaction at a lot of what has been achieved. A large part of the world today sees us as a development partner, not just as a development partner who lives up to what Prime Minister enunciated as the Kampala principles, which is we do with our partners what is their priority. So it is, one part of it is the credibility, one part of it is also what is it we are doing. It is something which is important for them. They have determined what it is, or we have mutually determined what it is. And that, I think, today has very significantly enhanced our stand.
Well, for more on this, we're now being joined by Siddhant Sibal. And Siddhant, well, clearly the foreign minister there stating that peace on the border was a precursor to any normalization between the two sides, even as he said that disengaging was the only way forward for India and China.
Well, a clear message on China by India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, while he reiterated when it comes to India's stance on China ever since Galwan incident happened. He highlighted and explained as to why the relationship will continue to remain abnormal. That's primarily because China violated the border pacts of 1996 and 1993, and something that will have its implications. We have, since Galwan incident, relationship has been falling, but he also pointed out one key aspect, that despite pressures, India has taken clear stance on Belt and Road Initiative, which of course is something backed by the Chinese government. And secondly, of course, on Quad as well, highlighting how there were pressures for India not to join the Quad, but India withstood those pressure and continued to be part of this grouping, which of course is focusing on what the Indian side and other countries which are part of the Quad have been saying is positive agenda.
Right, Siddhant, thanks very much indeed for joining us with the very latest there. Bye-bye.